the whole thing. All right, we're going to move on to another sports story that we started covering last week on the show, and it's evolved over the weekend. The latest Olympic drama in figure skating. So remember this, 15-year-old Russian skater Kamila Valieva. She will now be allowed to compete tomorrow while the case of her failed drug test is being investigated. But if she wins, there will not be a medal ceremony. Gosh, this just got real sticky and messy. So what do you all make of this decision? Being allowed to compete, but if she wins, as she's widely expected to do, no medals.
Yeah. Well, it feels like other athletes in the past have used this same drug, and there have been consequences. They have been suspended and so on. So this feels a little strange. The only one getting punished when she probably will get a medal are the other two athletes who won't be able to have the medal ceremony because, because there won't be a medal ceremony full stop. And it's the only reason, this is a genuine question, it's the only reason she's still allowed to compete because she's 15 and the assumption is she didn't really have a choice? But do we believe, like other Russian athletes, if they're 18 and over, have a choice?
That's a great question. I just feel like I wonder, like it could be her age. It could be there are a lot of questions that are going to take way longer to answer than just the one question. And it sounds like the team competition that is just up in limbo is going to literally take weeks, if not months, to figure out. And so they're just maybe saying, like, let's just go with the flow and be smooth until, which really punishes the other athletes, like you said, Jess. Yeah. But I actually think, like, how scared of Russia is the IOC? The fact that one country can literally put the entire games in a tailspin, I'm really, really surprised at that, because that's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, it's just been so weird from start to finish. Like the fact that, there's this nod to Russia having bent the rules. Like, obviously, they're not allowed to show their flag, but everyone knows Russia's there. Like, Putin's right there. Yeah. Like, it's just, the whole thing is a bit of a farce to begin with. And it is a slap in the face for athletes who have never cheated or considered cheating, that these rules are being slightly altered. But it's interesting just because Putin just is like, he's the king of it wasn't me. Like, he basically is just like, doping scandal. Like, even with this thing, oh, it wasn't me. Poisoned journalists, oh, it wasn't me. Invading Ukraine, oh, it's not me. Like, that's his thing, and everyone just has to sort of accept that.
I guess that's the question a lot of writers are asking today. Like, is this time for a full-blown Russia, you go take a time out, you sit in the corner, and you think about what you've done, and when you're actually repentant and sorry and show us how you're going to change things, we'll let you back in the games. I think we're at that point now.
I totally agree, Mel, because it seems like the current restrictions, like you said, Sin, not being allowed to carry or have their flag or their anthem play, like those aren't doing much to deter the drug use, are they? And Lainey, I know you are sort of a scholar on Rocky IV and Drago. And do you just think of that scene? Like, is that how Russia still is? Like the 80s, like when he's training and there are doctors and scientists filling him up with stuff? My gosh.
It's not that far off, Jess. It's such an interesting example because, not only are they unrepentant, I feel like for those of us who follow figure skating, it's done in plain sight. Like, Valieva is accompanied by her coach, Terry, who's known to be the most imposing and successful coach in women's figure skating. And she's also frequently accompanied by an anesthesiologist. His name is Dr. Shrevsky. And Dr. Shrevsky has been involved in other doping scandals before. Namely, 6 Russian rowers were given, were given banned substances by this dude who is at the boards joining, this Russian figure skating team with Terry at the helm. So
why does she need an anesthesiologist?
Nobody's hiding. Nobody's hiding.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question, Mel. Why does anyone need an anesthesiologist? But you say that something should be done with the Russian team. I get it, 100%. But the thing is, the whole figure skating community has seen this for a long time. And I don't know, maybe it's time for the International Skating Union to be like, what's up with your condoning of this Russian team?
Yeah. I mean, if this is what they're doing with a 15-year-old, like, what are the other athletes up to? Anywho, this will be continued. We'll continue to watch this closely. It is time for our first break on the